Let's start by taking a few breaths together. Breathing into the lower abdomen. Breathing out. Taking a deep breath doesn't always mean to take in a lot of air, just to let it sink deeply into our body. With every out breath, allow your face, your neck, and shoulders to relax. Get a sense of your feet on the ground, your connection to the earth, the ground under your feet. And if you're sitting, notice your body against the chair. And then just check in with yourself. How are you really doing right now? How are you feeling? What are the thoughts that are running through your mind? And how do you feel towards them? Notice any sensations in your body that call your attention. Notice again what kinds of thoughts are arising. And then stop thinking for a moment. What remains? Alertness, wakefulness, awareness, the open, spacious presence of open intelligence, the space in which all of these thoughts, emotions, sensations appear, hang out a bit, and then disappear again, like a line drawn in water, leaving no trace. So in every moment we remember, we recognize open intelligence for just a moment. Rest naturally, effortlessly, without any attempt to change what appears in the mind, in the body, just letting it be as it is. Resting as the essence, the ease of our being. And you can imagine going through your day like this, encountering happy moments, sad moments, stressful times, restful times. Same open intelligence that's looking, that's aware. So we can let life move through us in this way, remembering open intelligence one short moment at a time. Notice again your feet on the ground, your body against the chair. And let your breath flow effortlessly. And if you had your eyes closed, you can open them again slowly. Let the pixels on the screen be illuminated by the same light of open intelligence. All right. Welcome to those who joined while we were in the meditation together. Good. And Kati, I turn it over to you. Hi, Catherine.
Hello, everyone. Thought we start with some slides with the teaching, and we'll share about the short moments practice with an introduction to open intelligence, and then after that, we'll also have space for shares and questions. So I'll share the screen, and yeah, here you can see make one simple change in the use of your mind. Short moments, the ultimate meditation. And yeah, that one simple change in the use of our mind, and we'll go into that. And many of you here are familiar and have heard the teachings on short moments and the introduction to open intelligence. But we'll go through that here. Open intelligence is something about us that is always stable and clear. Just like a crystal ball is unaffected by whatever images appear, the nature of mind, open intelligence, remains lucid and clear regardless of the data. And data is everything, thoughts, emotions, sensations, anything we can describe, we perceive. And so the nature of mind remains lucid and clear regardless of what the data that arise within it. And the crystal ball is a powerful metaphor. You can imagine a crystal ball here. Jochen usually has one right next to him. You can, yeah. So you can see the images within it, and the crystal ball is unaffected regardless if it's pleasant, unpleasant images. And it's the same with our own mind, open intelligence, awareness that what's looking is indestructible and unaffected no matter what the data, what the emotions are that we are feeling right now, what the thoughts are, thinking and on the sensations we're sensing. And here we go. What is open intelligence? And you heard it in the meditation. when we stop thinking for just a moment, and what remains, there's a clarity, an alertness, an openness, and the power to know, open intelligence. And obviously, there's no way we can stop thinking all the time. There's maybe a way to stop thinking for a certain amount of time, but it is more to recognize open intelligence, that what's looking is something that has gone unnoticed due to a focus on the data, on the thoughts, and describing the thoughts, describing the emotions, and having a focus on what appears. And basically in that way, I've overlooked what is our essence and what is naturally present and always present. And that's what is shared here, the introduction to open intelligence. And then with the practice of a short moment of open intelligence, we make that open intelligence more and more obvious just in a day-to-day life without needing to change anything that we're thinking or feeling, no matter if it's positive or negative. Yeah, then thoughts appear again. We had many thoughts along the way now, and the same open intelligence is present while we are thinking or not thinking. So it's equally present, and it's always already present. So it's nothing we need to get from outside. And that was something when I heard that the first time, it was like, wow, it was that effortlessness in recognizing there's something about us that we don't need to get from outside or don't need to cultivate in any kind of practices. It's more like a confirmation of something being already there. And that was magnetizing to hear that, because also it's something we actually know instinctively, but when it's then put in these words, it's like, we recognize, yeah, that's true about us. That there's something that is always stable, indestructible, can never be harmed by anything. Maybe Jochen, would you like to?
Happy to. In uncontrived open intelligence, there's no need to have any special point of concentration, to have a special time slot or a special place, to put ourselves in a particular posture, or to have any fixed reference point. Yeah, that's it's such a relief. I've tried many of these things, and like Kati said, it's it's a lot of work to try to not to have thoughts or to have only certain thoughts. Um, Even when I did manage after many, many hours, countless hours of trying one focus, single focused meditation practices, it was impossible to bring to bring that into daily life for me because there are so many things that happen out on the street, so to speak, that made it impossible for me to maintain any kind of peaceful state. So instead, here in this practice, we simply rest naturally as open intelligence for short moments, repeated many times. Since open intelligence, this is so, that was such a revolution for me. Open intelligence isn't something we become through practice. Open intelligence is who we are. And we just recognize and then remember to recognize that. So whether you rest or don't rest changes nothing about your fundamental condition. Just like the crystal ball is always exactly as it is. Whatever images flow through it, it doesn't change its nature. It changes its display, but not its nature. And it's the same with us. Our display is constantly changing. And it can look really like holy and peaceful and serene. And the next moment, it can look exactly the opposite with really bad thoughts about somebody or, challenging emotions, stressful experiences. It's the same nature of mind. The same nature of mind. Open intelligence is a seamless expanse that is naturally present everywhere. It includes everything and is within everything. All thoughts and emotions are recognized as the dynamic energy of open intelligence. That's it's really powerful, this inseparability. It's hard to wrap our minds around it. In fact, it's impossible to think our way into that recognition. But in our direct experience, if you ever think that you don't have open intelligence, so to speak, how do you know that thought? How are you aware of pain, mental pain, physical pain? It's open intelligence that's aware, that knows. So whenever we have any kind of experience, there is the intelligence, the awareness that is at the basis of that experience. And the single practice is to rest as that expands, as that ground, instead of getting wrapped up in the experiences. But in every moment of life, open intelligence and data are simultaneously present. There are two aspects of the same reality. They're inseparable, like the sky and the color blue. We can't separate them out from each other. You love the rainbow, Kati. Do you want to take that one?
It's a nice metaphor, yes. Just as the rainbow appears within space, thoughts, emotions, sensation, and other experiences appear within open intelligence. They're very colorful, vivid, and very clear, like our thoughts. They can appear very vivid, clear, yet it disappears, leaving no trace. Same with our thoughts and emotions and experiences. They appear and release without any trace. And here, that aspect of everything appearing within space is another aspect of the inseparability as well, and how everything, no matter what we can describe, appears in the space of open intelligence. And and that's the power of a short moment when we recognize that really all data, all our thoughts and emotions are the dynamic energy of open intelligence. That means we have an opportunity to recognize open intelligence in every moment. And that's why it's these short moments. They're short because it's like a short recognition of open intelligence, no matter what is appearing, rather than sitting for long periods, only a few times a day. It's easier and more sustainable to enjoy open intelligence for short moments throughout the day, repeat it again and again, even though one could sit as long as one enjoys to sit, if somebody enjoys to sit in meditation. But it's completely optional in terms of gaining confidence in open intelligence. One doesn't even have to sit at all. And a short moments like the ultimate meditation happens in daily life. Sometimes it's easier to recognize open intelligence in environments like sitting or in nature, or when we are not interacting. And that is also a good opportunity to strengthen the short moments practice. Or just hearing about open intelligence is also a natural short moment, like we are sitting here. There are natural short moments happening. And open intelligence becomes more and more obvious, just in an effortless way. That's why it fits with the effortless meditation. It's like it's an effortless way of recognizing the ease of being. Therefore, simply relax, simply stay in your own place, in your own condition, just as it is. Relax fixed reference points. So it is this moment of letting everything and ourselves be just as we are. Many of us have the experience of thinking we're doing something wrong or we should be better at something like meditation or realization even or anything at all. So it was powerful to see that this practice opened up such a field of confirmation and ultimate acceptance of everything as it is, as an appearance of open intelligence, without thinking that, but simply it's a space of love and openness that appears and is more obvious. And open intelligence is without struggle. So all the struggle and the search for something stopped for me. It was like, wow, no more searching, no more needing to struggle and try to be something, or even try to meditate. So without struggle, without strain, and without attempts to control or force, or without trying to become clear or peaceful, that kind of struggle naturally just settled out with these practice of short moments along the way. Sometimes I had no idea what is a short moment and how does that look. But then over time, just hearing these teachings again and again, that's why you hear also repetition. It's like it's a confirmation and it becomes naturally obvious. So that was just it's just such a magic. Yeah, one moment of open intelligence brings more clarity in a lifetime of contrived meditation. Well, to understand that, and it's not anything against any meditation. One can love meditation and integrate that into one's practice. But to understand that any kind of conceptualization of what the nature of mind is or the essence of being can be, bring more confusion than one short moment where you recognize open intelligence and understand everything about really meditation, anything about what we are searching for. So it's beautiful. Yeah, we spoke about that on the last meetup too, how the clarity comes about understanding all the wisdom texts and everything that is spoken about in a new way. That one moment of open intelligence introduces us to that about ourselves that will never change. Something that is always accountable or always something that we can rely on. And in this sense, every moment would be the ultimate meditation, no matter what the moment may contain. We always know what to rely on. And open intelligence, the stability with maybe the ups and downs of life, because we never know what happens next, what happens the next day. And we can rely on something about us that is indestructible, and that was just a relief. Jan, did you want to?
We can create a new definition of meditation, the freeing of all of the mind's constraints. This means that everything that appears is seen as the dynamic energy of open intelligence, and therefore no problems are found and no constraints are necessary. Nothing is perceived as having ever been made into anything. The clear light of open intelligence has never been stuck anywhere. Within open intelligence, just like within stainless, flawless sky, there is nothing that's holdable or keepable. Yeah, these texts are so powerful. That's one of the what we call the mainstays, one of the supports of the short moments teaching and practices, to have these teachings, these texts that constantly confirm and evoke open intelligence and illuminate different aspects of it, the nature of reality, the nature of our own mind. And I like that, the freedom from all constraints and really recognizing how, in my experience, how much I've tried to control my mind. You know, that's as a kid, I did that through prayer and, trying to be a good Christian and have good faith and hoping that I would, cleanse in a way. And then I studied psychology in the hopes of finding ways of just having better thoughts. Essentially, I wouldn't have been able to even say it like this, but that was the underlying dynamic. And then with the same dynamic, I approached meditation and all kinds of spiritual practices, always with the attempt to move the content of my mind towards something that is acceptable. But that unruly mind of mine, it always went to things that are unacceptable, no matter how hard I worked. And so it's powerful and such a relief to recognize that wherever the mind goes, its nature is timelessly free. It's unconstrained. And we don't need to keep anything in place because the nature of mind is equally present in the good and the ugly, so to speak. These are just descriptions that we've learned along the way. And powerfully, as we rest and relax, as that space, as that true nature of mind, the qualities that I've been looking to cultivate, they naturally come about. So we don't need to try and be, good or kind because the kindness of our heart is innate. And by just resting in that natural state, that kindness can express itself in whatever way it may. It might be very direct at times. It rarely is in my case. I'm more of a peace-loving creature, but I know people whose, energy is more direct and straight, but even that can happen in a space that is completely open and loving. We can get into all kinds of sublime states in meditation, but they're not completely free. They're states, and states are inherently temporary. I like that in one of the teachings I watched where I think the phrase is something like, whatever you experience, if if it came into experience, it's bound to leave. And that's kind of sad for for having worked a really long time on getting into a peaceful state to know that it's it's bound to disappear because it came into existence. The law of impermanence means it will disappear. Anything acquired through effort will eventually be lost, but our true nature is permanently with us and always will be. That's why it's called true nature, because it's already the case. It's already here.
I thought
Yeah,
we could pause maybe here, but
sounds great.
today then we have time for shares, questions, and